Myself Dr. Shalin Sinha. I am working as a professor in the mechanical department at IIT Lucknow. I welcome you all in this lecture on the steam turbine, which this is the second lecture, and it basically covers the compounding of the steam turbines and the impulse reaction turbine. What is the objective of this talk is that at the end of this talk you should be able to understand the working of the compounded steam turbine, why we do the compounding of the turbine, you must be able to answer these things. You should be able to explain about the working of the impulse reaction turbine, how we can draw the velocity diagram for impulse reaction turbine, how we can draw the velocity diagram for the compounded turbine, and with the use of that velocity diagram, how we can use that for calculating or doing the calculations regarding the performance parameter, work done and efficiency, and in the end we will discuss the some of the problems. Now, question arises, why compounding? Why we do the compounding of the steam turbine? Definitely, because as we have gone earlier in the courses of the thermodynamics, we can find that the efficiency of the plant is going to be higher if we are utilizing the higher pressure and temperature in the Rankine cycle. And if we imply the higher pressure and temperature, then what is the energy or enthalpy of the steam is very high at that. And when we expand that enthalpy or that high energy steam into the nozzle at the outlet, because high enthalpy drop is there, very high velocity at the nozzle exit we get. And when this high velocity steam passes over the turbine blades, as in the earlier lecture we discussed that the blade velocity should be half of the steam velocity. So, definitely the blade velocity is going to be very high. Blade velocity is nothing but the pi d n by 60. So, either we have to increase the diameter of the blade, and when we increase the diameter of the blade, too much mechanical problem, very big size wheel, too much centrifugal stresses that are going to be developed. And if we are keeping the diameter in the some limited range, then definitely the n, that is the RPM of the blade, is going to be very high. So, in the case of simple steam turbine, the RPM of the wheel in the simple impulse turbine, it is going to be 30,000 RPM nearly, which is going to be very high, and it is of no use to the practical purpose. Because when we are connecting this turbine shaft to the generator shaft for generating the electricity, and as we know what is the frequency of the electricity in India, it is the 50 cycle 50 hertz, and that depends upon the number of poles on the motor PNY 120, and minimum number of poles, that will be, or we can say pair of poles, this will be 2 minimum pair, and RPM is going to be 3000. This is going to be maximum possible when we put the value of f is equal to 50. So, this 3000 RPM we have to maximum RPM which by which the generator core should be rotated. It means we have to reduce 30,000 to 3000 RPM by some mechanical means, maybe by the gearing, by the chain, belt, etc., but too much losses are going to be there. So, generally we require that the blade speed or the turbine rotor speed should be low, that is below 3000 RPM. It will be 3000 RPM from 1500 RPM like that, but at the same time we want to utilize the higher pressure and temperature of the steam. So, this can be done by compounding. Compounding means nothing but the whenever the energy we are not converting whole of the energy in one set of wheel, but it is converted into a number of wheels. Number of moving blades, number of moving wheels are going to be there, and partly energy is going to be transferred into work done in each wheel, and then its speed is also not going to be increased, but at the same time power output of the each wheel is available on the same shaft of the turbine, and we are getting the maximum power, same power, but reduced speed, and that is the purpose of the compounding. There are various types of compounding, mainly the pressure compounding and velocity compounding. Basically depends upon whether we are dropping the pressure in part or we are dropping the kinetic energy velocity in part, means whether we compounding the pressure or we compounding the velocity. So, as simple turbine there was one stage, one set of nozzle and moving blade. Here number of stages are going to be there, that is why it is also called multi-stage turbine. Suppose pressure compounding turbine, this is one simple stage turbine, this is another simple stage turbine is going to be there. Very high pressure and temperature at the nozzle, whole of the pressure and temperature is not dropped to the condenser pressure. This is the condenser pressure. It is dropped to somewhat in between. When we are not dropping whole of the pressure here, so kinetic energy increase will be less, velocity will be not very high, it is in certain range. Then what is happening? It passes over the moving blade. In moving blade there is no change in the pressure, pressure is same, but velocity do certain amount of work and velocity decreases. Now, again when it comes from the first set of the moving blade, again it passes to the next set of the nozzle, because pressure is still very high in comparison to the condenser pressure, and further pressure drop takes place in the nozzle. This is the pressure drop, and respectively kinetic energy increases, and then again it passes to the another wheel. So, number of stages are going to be there, pressure is compounded, that is why velocity is not going to be very high, and our main purpose blade velocity should be half of the steam velocity. It is not going to be very high, and still we are utilizing the high pressure and temperature energy. This is called the pressure compounding. Similarly, in velocity compounding, pressure drops takes place at a one place, only one set of nozzle is going to be there, whole of the pressure drop is taking place. Very high increase in the velocity is going to be there, because whole of the pressure energy is going to converted into the kinetic energy. But what is happening now, whole of the velocity drop is not in a single wheel, certain velocity drop, certain amount of work done in the single wheel, then what is happening, it comes out the first set of moving blade, then it passes to the another set of moving blade. This is the moving blade, this one is the moving blade. Now, as it passes there, moving blades are moving in the same direction, we have to change the direction of the velocity of the steam. So, what we will do, we in between that we use a fixed blade. Purpose of fixed blade just to change the direction of the velocity steam. As it moving here, it comes, it changes the direction from this to this, and again it enters the another set of moving blade. So, partly the kinetic energy is converted here, pressure drop everywhere is same. Then again what is happening in moving fixed blade, no change in kinetic energy if no friction is there. If friction is there, certain drop in the kinetic energy will be there. Then it passes to another set of moving blades, certain amount of work is done is going to be there in that moving blade. Now, if two velocity compounded stages are in series, then that is called pressure velocity compounding. What is this is one velocity compounded stage, and this is another velocity compounded stage. These two stages are put in series, and that is known as the pressure velocity compounding. Now, as we see here, in the case of pressure compounding, what is happening, velocity at each set of moving blade at the entry to the moving blade, it is going to be same. We can maintain the pressure drop in such a manner that inlet velocity to each stage is going to be same. So, when we are drawing the velocity triangle, because we can make Vi same for each stage, Vb is also going to be same, blades are going to be same if they are symmetrical. So, we can have similar blade velocity diagram for each stages. For each stage we can find out delta Vw, this is the delta Vw, Vb is known to you, work done will be what is your Vb into delta Vw. Delta Vw is nothing, it is the summation of delta Vw for each stage, and we have similar velocity time and times of stages are there, n into for each stage we can find out. But what is happening in the case of velocity compounding, Vi is somewhat here is different, Vi somewhat here is different, in the another stage Vi somewhat here is different. So, it is not the same. So, we have to draw the velocity diagram for each of the stage. So, when we come to the velocity diagram of the velocity compounded turbine, as we see, suppose this is the first stage, nozzle, complete pressure drop, this is the first stage, velocity enters from Vi, it comes leaves from Vo. In this it enters from Vo, leaves from certain another velocity which is inlet to this, then it is going to be leaving here. In detail we can see here, suppose this is the first moving blade, this is the fixed blade, this is the second moving blade. What is happening? Suppose at V1 it comes out from the nozzle, V1 is the velocity, inlet velocity at the first set of moving blade or at the exit of the nozzle. We can draw the velocity diagram for this, Vb is the blade velocity. One thing is common here, blades are mounted on the same shaft, and shaft is rotating with the same speed, and also the blade mean blade height is same for the each of the stage. So, what is the blade velocity? What we have written as, that is going to be same for each of the stage. 3 stages, here 2 stages, for all of the 2 stages blade velocity that is going to be same. So, first we draw the velocity triangle for the first stage, Vb is this, V1 nozzle angle alpha, beta 1 is the inlet angle of the blade, beta 2 is the exit angle of the blade of first stage of this one, beta 1 and beta 2. So, this is the velocity triangle for this. V r 2 can be written as V k times V r 1, that is the blade velocity coefficient for there. When it leaves the first set of moving blade with velocity V 2, now it enters with V 2 to this fixed blade. Now, here we will deal only the fixed velocity, because no relative velocity, because fixed blade is fixed, it is not moving, it is keyed to the casing. So, it is going to be fixed. At V 2 it enters here, and suppose at V 3 velocity it leaves the blade. At which angle it is leaving, that is the blade angle, which velocity it is leaving, that will be the inlet velocity to the second stage. Second stage at which it is leaving here, at what angle it is entering to this blade, and similarly we can draw the velocity diagram of the second stage, keeping in mind V b is going to be same for both of this. Only thing is V 3 is out of which is entering the second stage of moving blade, V 2 is here. So, V 3 will be k times of V 2 if friction is going to be there. V 3 will be, because here certain friction loss, so as V 2 it will enter certain losses, and at V 3 it will come out. So, V 2 will be k times, V 3 will be k times of V 2. Similarly, V r 4 will be k times of V r 3, whatever the friction is going to be there. So, we can draw the velocity triangles in such a manner of both the stages here. Now, suppose we have had the simplest case, and whatever the simplest case we have taken, that it is the symmetrical blades are going to be there, that is beta 1 is equal to beta 2 and beta 3 suppose is equal to beta 4. Or sometimes for maximum efficiency it is desired that the velocity at the outlet of the last stage should be axial, it will be axial to that. Suppose this is the velocity at the stage. And another thing, we have assumed k is equal to 1, that there is no frictional losses are going to be there. So, we can write down the energy, what is the work done in the first place, V b into delta B w, this will be V r 1 cos beta 1 like this. Ideal cases beta 1 is equal to beta 2 and k is equal to, we have taken 1. So, E 1 will be twice V 1, this can be reduced to this form, and this is going to be this one. Similarly, work done in the second stage or energy transfer in the second stage, it can be written to this value, and this is going to be this one. Now, here V 3 cos alpha 3, what we assume no friction means V 3 will be equal to V 2. If the blades are same, symmetrical both blades, so alpha 2 will be equal to alpha 3. If this is symmetrical, so for this alpha 2 will be equal to alpha 3. Put this here, V 3 cos alpha 3 in place of V 3 is equal to V 2, in place of alpha 3 is alpha 2. This can be written as this, and this finally can be written as this, and V a 1 cos alpha 1 minus 2 V b. This is the energy transfer in second stage. This one is the energy transfer in second stage. This can be written. Total energy transfer is add of E 1 plus E 2, this can be written here. Only thing is difference, twice V 1 cos alpha, here is the minus V b, and here it is the second stage, it is the minus 3 V b. Now, we come to here similarly, what is the condition for maximum efficiency for velocity compounded impulse turbine. Same thing is going to be there. For the first row we have find out what is the energy transfer, this one. For second row we have find out what is the energy transfer, this one. Total energy transfer or total work done is going to be this one. Now, efficiency, efficiency is nothing but the work done upon energy supplied. What is the energy supplied? Energy supplied is still in the velocity compounded turbine, whole of the kinetic energy from the pressure energy it is converted into one set of nozzle. So, what is the energy supplied? That is the for the first stage, it is only here it is going to be supplied. Put it here, this one, when we put it here we will find out finally it is going to be this one. And for the maximum efficiency, what is going to be there, or here what is the rho blade speed ratio, it is nothing but the blade velocity divided by V 1 that is going to be rho. Put it here, it is going to be 8 rho cos alpha 1 minus 16 rho square. For maximum efficiency, put it equal to 0, you will find that for two stage turbine maximum efficiency comes at cos alpha by rho is equal to cos alpha by 4 for the maximum efficiency, and the value of maximum efficiency when we put it in this equation, it is going to be cos square alpha. If we find out what is the total work done, in this equation we put rho is equal to cos alpha by 4, then total work done is going to be this, and work done in the second stage it is going to be this. So, ratio of the work done in second stage divided by total work, it is going to be 1 by 4, 2 VB square divided by 8 VB square. In general, if any stages is going to be there, we can do it with the 3, 4, 5 stages. In general, it is found when any stages is going to be there, the value of rho is equal to cos alpha by 2 n. This is the value of rho, and this E 2 upon E the last stage divided by the total stage, it comes as 1 by 2 to the power n of the total work. So, as we see the number of stages increases, effectiveness or the work produced by the last stage is equal to 1 by 2 to the power n. 3 stages turbine is only 1 by 8 times, 4 stages it will be only 1 by 16 times. So, as the number of stages are increasing, definitely the your efficiency is cos square alpha, it is going to be there, but what is happening? Blade speed is decreasing, it will be cos alpha 4 stages, it will be cos alpha by 8, but what is happening here? Last stage work output is very little. Last stage is not contributing to so much amount. So, generally not 2 to 3, more than 2 to 3 stages are preferred, because we are not effectively last stage material construction size it will be higher, but what is the work produced, that is going to be lower. Now, we come to the impulse reaction turbine. What is happening in the impulse reaction? Principle of impulse turbine, due to the impulse force is generated. Here what is happening? Due to the reaction, force is going to be generated. What is the reaction? Suppose we have seen earlier, we have found, suppose this is a tank is filled with a water and certain amount of water comes from here. What is the issuing jet of water? It produces certain amount of reaction, and this starts traveling in the direction. Similarly, suppose there is a wheel and there are set of nozzles are going to be there, and steam is coming out from here, steam is coming out from here in the reverse direction, it will produce a force. So, what will do? It will start rotating. So, this is the reaction, this is the total reaction force is going to be there, and first turbine, Hero's turbine, that is in the BC, it is going to be developed, and that was completely based on the your pure reaction. But nowadays no pure reaction turbine is going to be there. Whatever reaction turbine it is there, that is known as the impulse reaction turbine. Some part of the energy is converted from the impulse action, and some part of energy is due to the reaction force. So, two types of forces are there, one is the impulse force and reaction force. Suppose the velocity diagram we can draw. This is Vi, this is Vri, suppose this is Vro is certain amount, suppose this is Vro, what is happening? This is Vo is there, this is the velocity diagram suppose for the only the impulse turbine. Now, what is happening? The reaction, reaction causes what? Reaction increases the relative kinetic energy. So, whatever due to some reaction force, this kinetic energy is further increased, and finally, you can say this will be the Vro. So, effect of reaction, the blades are such there, that is of the aerofoil section. So, this is here, as it passes over there, pressure drops in the blade also takes place, and with the pressure drop what is happening, that pressure drop converts into the kinetic energy. As in the case of nozzle, it is fixed, the fixed kinetic energy Vi square is increasing. Here nozzles are moving, then what is happening? It is going to, the nozzles are fixed, then what is happening here? Again, because that is moving blade, again what is happening? Fixed blade is there, certain part of pressure drop is there, energy transfer is going to be there, but again in the moving blade also pressure drop is taking place. So, nozzle is the moving blade can be considered as a itself moving nozzle. So, what is happening? It will produce, pressure drop will produce the kinetic energy, and that kinetic energy it will increase in what direction? It will produce the force in the opposite direction to increase in kinetic energy, and that reaction force added to the impulse force it will be applied on the turbine blade, and which is responsible for the production of the work output or the So, here we can see, suppose this one is there, suppose this is the impulse turbine Vri. What is the pressure drop in moving blade? It increases kinetic energy, means it increases Vro. So, this one is due to the reaction force and this one is due to the impulse force. So, in the case of this impulse reaction turbine, whatever the velocity diagram is, this VRO is greater than VRI. In the impulse turbine we have seen VRO is equal to K times VRI and K is 1 less than 1, so it is less than VRI. But here VRO is greater than VRI, this is the case for the impulse reaction turbine. And if we see how the energy transfer is taking place, pressure drop in the nozzle, velocity increases, moving blade, velocity decreases, it is converted into the mechanical work, but pressure drop is again in the moving blade itself, pressure drop in fixed blade, pressure drop in moving blade, while in impulse turbine there is no pressure drop in the moving blade. Whatever the pressure drop in moving blade in reaction turbine, that produces the reaction force. And if we see the efficiency and all those things, for this reaction turbine, we take the particular special case of reaction turbine, that is known as the Parsons reaction turbine. First we come to the what is the degree of reaction. Degree of reaction here, that is the what is the energy drop in the enthalpy drop in the moving blade divided by enthalpy drop in stage, that is the moving blade plus the fixed blade. Suppose this is going to be there, this is for the fixed blade and this is the drop is the for the moving blade. What is this difference divided by this difference, that is the degree of reaction, and degree of reaction tells whether what is the your degree of reaction, that is this one. If degree of reaction is 0 means no drop in moving enthalpy blade, it means it is the impulse turbine. Degree of reaction is equal to 1, it is the pure reaction turbine, and degree of reaction it will 0 and 1, it is going to be impulse reaction turbine is going to be there. Then we can find out what is the energy supplied. Work done we can find out with the help of the velocity diagram. If we can draw the velocity diagram for that. Parsons reaction turbine is special case is going to be there, that is the Parsons reaction turbine, and Parsons reaction turbine, for Parsons reaction turbine what is degree of reaction is going to be 50% and blades whatever alpha is equal to gamma and beta is equal to theta. Means if we draw the diagram, the Parsons reaction turbine it is symmetrical to its center axis. What is this alpha? It is going to be equal to gamma. What is this beta? That is going to be equal to theta. This is Vi, this is Vri, this is Vro, this is Vo. And when it is going to be alpha is equal to gamma, beta is equal to theta, it will give you Vro is equal to Vri and Vi is equal to Vo. For finding out the work done is nothing but Vb into delta Vw, and this can be find out Vb is this one is known, delta Vw is nothing but this is the delta Vw, we can find out from here. And what is the energy supplied? Energy supplied here is two places. First is as the nozzle, fixed blade is going to be there. Energy supplied to the fixed blade, that is equal to Vi square by 2. What is happening? Energy supplied in the moving blade, what is the increase in relative kinetic energy in the moving blade, that will give you the energy supplied to the moving blade. So, what is the kinetic energy? It is increases from Vri to Vro. So, kinetic energy supplied to the moving blade will be half for unit mass or 1 kg of per second of flow, it will be Vro square minus Vri square by 2. So, total energy supplied will be E1 plus E2, energy supplied in fixed blade, energy supplied in moving blade, and it is going to be Vi square by 2 plus Vro square minus Vri square by 2. Vro is equal to Vri and Vi is equal to Vo. Work done is equal to Vb into delta Vw. This can be written as Vb delta Vw, this distance. This can be written as Vi cos alpha 1 plus Vro, matlab this one, plus Vro cos gamma, this one, this thing is repeated, that is Vb. So, we have subtracted Vb here. This is the work done. And when we will find out the efficiency, work done upon energy supplied, and finally come to the equation, and when we will derive that, it is going to be there that final efficiency for the case of reaction turbine, it comes as 2 rho cos 2 cos alpha minus rho divided by 1 minus rho square plus 2 rho cos alpha, where rho is equal to V b upon V I. This is the expression for the efficiency. This divided by this, rearrange the terms into the terms of V 1, V I, etcetera, and we can find out this is the value of the efficiency. For maximum efficiency, same thing is going to be there. Put this efficiency equation, differentiate it with respect to rho and put it is equal to 0. When we solve this, then we find out that the maximum efficiency for the case of the reaction turbine, basically the impulse reaction turbine, a particular case, that is the Parsons reaction turbine, it comes for maximum efficiency rho is equal to cos alpha. In the case of impulse turbine, we have seen that maximum efficiency rho is equal to cos alpha by 2, but here the maximum efficiency is occurring at rho is equal to cos alpha. And when we put this value of rho is equal to cos alpha into this maximum efficiency, then it is going to be 2 cos alpha divided 2 cos square alpha upon 1 plus cos alpha. So, maximum efficiency is 2 cos square alpha upon 1 plus cos square alpha. This is the value of the maximum efficiency. So, in this manner we can do the problems of the impulse reaction turbine, or particularly for Parsons reaction turbine, these things are going to be there. This is the thing, and when we make the derivation, put the value of all this, we are going to be arriving to this equation. So, here you can see how the blade efficiency is changing with respect to blade speed ratio. Blade speed ratio is rho, that is the V b upon V I. In the case of impulse turbine, we have seen maximum blade efficiency was occurring at is equal to cos alpha by 2, and what is the value of maximum efficiency? It was cos square alpha. So, this is the variation for the impulse turbine, this graph. What is happening in the impulse reaction turbine? Maximum value of efficiency is occurring at the cos alpha, peak is going to be at cos alpha, and the value of maximum efficiency is going to be equal to 2 cos square alpha upon 1 plus cos. So, this curve is for reaction turbine. So, here we can see one thing is more, this curve is more flatter than this curve. So, if it is operating part load, or it is somewhat deviating from the maximum efficiency speed, still its efficiency is not going to vary much. But if the impulse turbine, it is operating beyond the speed, beyond the value of rho for which it is going to be optimum, then its efficiency is going to be suddenly drop. So, this is about the impulse reaction turbine. What is the velocity diagram, how we can find out how the impulse and reaction forces are responsible for producing the work done, and remaining thing, that whatever the numericals of the problems that we can solve later, and in this manner I finish this about the impulse reaction turbine. Thank you.